Good morning, folks. Admiral Preparedness here. Well, yesterday's adventure started when the doorbell, well, not the doorbell, the man came ringing at the door. And after seeing that there was only one individual standing at the door, I spoke to the individual through the door. I'm not going to open it for anybody, trust me. And he was telling me that him and a few friends had decided to clean up the area, if you know what I mean. And the individual who I told you about had succumbed in his front yard. They needed my help, and I politely apologized and let them know that I had other things to do, and asked him to leave. He was very polite. I can understand his concern of leaving a corpse to rot in our neighborhood. As I was politely telling him to leave, I made a small comment under his breath that I heard, and it concerned me quite a bit. He uttered the words, "I'll be back." Folks, I hate to tell you this, but he won't be back. He won't be doing anything other than laying on the ground in front of my property. What more can I tell you? It is what it is. Day 13 of the worldwide blackout. What can I tell you more than this? If you're seeing this, you're sitting in the dark too, and only by the mere magic of electronics are you able to view this. So in the coming days and weeks, more and more people will figure out how to transmit their, basically, these words, so you can share them. Feel free to. I have no complaints whatsoever. And this paper towel has been used probably 16 times over. They can be washed. It's just, you just need to take great care of doing it, letting it air dry. Pardon me. We don't get much sleep. We're standing guard at night. There were some gunshots again last night. I wasn't about to venture out today. We let the dog in the backyard. He'll have to be for now. The ham radio chatter, Detroit, Chicago, Miami, LA, New York City are finished. They're over. The report is from other ham operators that the rioting occurred around day 7. The looting continued 7/24 for almost 2 weeks. The National Guard, they deployed them, and the animals just took over. They overwhelmed their camps at night. They firebombed their trucks, their Jeeps, Humvees. The heavy equipment never left the armories. There was no place. They couldn't. All the vehicles that are abandoned on the roads kept them from getting to their destinations, pretty much. Most of the National Guard members had family in the area, and they weren't about to shoot their cousins and brothers and uncles. They dropped their weapons and went home. Yes, the bird's still alive. We're keeping that parakeet because of the bad air. We live down in the basement. I've got a smoke detector, of course, upstairs, downstairs, the CO2 detector. But your best line of defense for intruders is your dogs and a bird. They know the temperature. If it gets too cold for them, it's too cold for you. You know, there's no sense of suffering. I mean, I'm going to be warm. I'm going to be comfortable. That's why I prepare. I didn't take anything for granted. All the things we have here, iodine, alcohol, drinking and medicinal alcohol, were purchased for purpose and put away. Set back, as you say. We do have, well, you know the old story of you grab a pigeon, you tag a pigeon, you can get messages across through a pigeon. We have the dogs. What we do is we'll tie a letter to the dog's collar with a medicine bottle attached to it, and the dog will go out to our neighbor's house. He's about 1.5 miles away, and he'll come back with a letter and some instructions that came from his connection. You know, if you know 2 people, you know 2 people. We're calling it the Doggy Express. The dogs don't care. They get fed when they go there and they come back. We keep them hungry here for a couple days, and then when off he goes to the neighbor's house. Just like clockwork. They know who's feeding them. That's our little tip for you folks out there who live rurally like we do. What I do want to cover today pretty much is our sanitation. We don't put out the garbage because there's no way to collect it, but we don't have much of a garbage footprint. I managed to, any packaging material that I brought into the house before this event occurred was gone way long time ago. Anything else we burn. We don't do outside pit burning, we do it indoors. The fireplace will suffice. If you've ever camped, you know that when you start a fire, that pretty much lingers all over the area and people know that you're there. Well, here at this house, nobody knows we're here other than that poor fellow that came by yesterday who won't be telling anybody else. The airplanes barely fly over. I don't hear any high altitude aircraft anymore. I can assume that commercial air has finally stopped. I did notice the contrails have disappeared the last week or so, and no more noise from jet engines. We don't have a military base nearby, so thankful for that, because they'd be coming here to liven up my stuff, lessen my load, so to speak. There are no FEMA camps anywhere around. They're all in the big cities. And again, my connection from the ham radio said that the dysentery, there's smallpox now, measles, scabies, Lyme disease, not really Lyme disease, but scurvy, lack of vitamins. It's only been a few weeks, and all these people they're not healthy. They've eaten this garbage for all these decades, and when they're forced to eat military meals ready to eat, or whatever they can scavenge, and in these FEMA camps, those are prison food. Whatever they could scavenge up from hotels and restaurants and people's refrigerators, and some of that food's spoiled. This guy was telling me on the ham, he heard from another ham operator that in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the breweries there had been gone through about week 2. He's telling me that all that grain, there's silos full of beer grain, hops and barley and wheat. That stuff went within hours when the word got out that, hey, look, you know, we can eat wheat from the beer plants. We don't have anything like that here. We don't really have anything here that people want. It's winter time, so the trees aren't producing fruit. You can't put anything in the ground and grow. Hydroponics, so I'll wink, wink, nod, nod. Some of that I have. Strawberries, or beans, cucumbers, squash. A few other little small items that can be grown in a hydroponic garden in the basement using solar to power the batteries to keep the pump going. It's working. You gotta be a green thumb in times of trouble. You don't have to be outdoors. You can still do it indoors, folks. It's gardening inside. Just need the light source, and the proper light source, and the willingness to do it. It doesn't cost a fortune. Most of the stuff that you find around your house, you can do a hydroponics with. But enough of that. Let's go on to something else. We're talking about sanitation. With the water supply, it's still going. Like I said before, we have a city municipal water district that's still somewhat functioning. And come springtime, I went and gathered up a couple of 55-gallon drums from a local farm distributor that he didn't mind giving them away, and I didn't mind taking them from him. We'll set those up to collect rainwater. Right now, got plenty of water. We're not in no need for water, as opposed to folks out west who, again, from another ham operator, through word of mouth, they're drinking them. They're drinking anything that can sit still. You don't want dysentery, folks. It's just not fun. Look it up. And we want to close, because I've been rambling here for just a bit, but all I can tell you is keep exercising. I'm a little winded because I did have to chase a rogue child who wanted to kill my dog and eat it away. I didn't use any bodily harm or anything like that, but it was something I had to do. He won't be back either. Let's just say that. Good luck. I'll talk to you again.